Dear learners, welcome. Welcome to Theme 9, Introspection and Visualization. These are two skills that we are going to develop in this lesson. But first, let us reflect. How is self-introspection beneficial to me and to you? And how can I develop the skill of visualization? These are two different things. Dear friends, now that we have discussed how we must always find out the truth before we act, the next step is learning to introspect. Because unless you introspect and find out your real feelings about truth and diversity, you will not be able to work towards a more positive mindset. Also now, you must learn the skill of visualization, which will actually help you to create mental image of what you are going to achieve in life. So these are two very important skills for your personal development and for your capability building. So what is actually introspection? It's an unbiased evaluation of self that we should do periodically. Means maybe daily, maybe weekly, maybe every other day, maybe monthly, but it has to happen on regular basis. The purpose is self-improvement. So introspection is one type of meditation, but not intense as meditation. So through self-introspection, you look inward and put questions to yourself about something you did or happened to learn about it within yourself. So you view it holistically, analyze and evaluate it, like an external agency, and then attempt to grow as a result of that process. So self-reflection is a process that allows you to recognize yourself. Now, in order to be beneficial and effective, introspection requires self-awareness. We discuss about it later. And the ability to set aside the ego and the need to be always right that you have to put aside. So here is a very interesting story about introspection for you. I'm sure you will enjoy it. The name of the story is The Wise and Grateful Ayaz. A king had a subject by the name of Ayaz, a shepherd boy, who through a heroic action he had once actually saved the life of the king. So the king sent a messenger to summon him to come to the royal palace. Ayaz was unable to believe that good news. So he came to the palace with eagerness and joy. He was trembling with happiness. So he presented himself to the king. The king was very happy, very pleased with Ayaz, because Ayaz wanted nothing but to be near the king. So very soon, because of the way Ayaz was acting and functioning, king made him the guardian of his treasury, a very important, honorable position and responsibility. And others who lived at the court of the king, the ministers and others, they became jealous of the favor that Ayaz was receiving from the king. So they plotted together to try and find some fault with Ayaz so that they could destroy king's trust in him. So day and night, they started watching Ayaz, and soon they found what they were looking for. They saw each night Ayaz, when everybody else was sleeping, he would creep out of his room quietly. He would go through the corridor of the palace and climb the stairs to a small room at the top of one of the palace's many towers. They said, aha, here it is. He is robbing the king's treasure and storing it away secretly for himself. And with great delight and happiness, they rushed to take the news of their discovery to the king. The king was angered. Also, they became very sad. He said, I cannot believe this terrible thing you say about Ayaz. But before I believe you, I must see it for myself, that whether what you say is true. So that night the king watched along with the jealous courtiers. Sure enough, just as they had reported to him, Ayaz crept from his room and found his way to the small chamber in the tower. With deep sorrow, the king was watching. Then the king followed him, and he threw open the door of the little room with a mighty crash. The room was completely bare and empty, except that on the wall it was hanging the simple shepherd's coat which Ayaz had worn when he first met the king, came to the palace, and also the shepherd's crook, the stick he used to use to tend his flock. Ayaz was sitting on the floor and he was gazing at his robe, his old clothes, and the crook. The king exclaimed, "What is the meaning of this, Ayaz?" The king exclaimed, he shouted, "Why do you creep so quietly about my palace in the middle of the night? And you aroused my suspicion when I have raised you up and put my whole trust in you. Why do you do this?" Ayaz replied, "O my king, when I first set my eyes on you, I was a poor and ignorant shepherd boy. I had risen to this high position only through your bounty, your favor, your generosity. I wish never to forget what I was and from where I came, so I may always remain humble and grateful to you. That's why each night, after my duties, I come here to think of what I was and what you in your goodness and kindness have made me." The king marveled at his good luck, at his fortune in having a servant as loyal and as devoted as Ayaz. Friends, man should nurture within himself praiseworthy, wonderful qualities such as gratitude and humility. And that he can do through a regular process of introspection and reflection. That is what Ayaz did every night. Thank you.